motherfuckers. Welcome back to Billins World. He is not a podcaster. This is not a podcast. This show is brought to you by HitMyLineAccessories.com, JiggyMafia.com, AIRTIMEMUSICLLC.com. Billin, today, tell them what we're getting into.
Ruff Ryders RYDE OR DIE Volume 1 compilation album right here. Ew, this is one of the illest compilation albums, man. Classic to me, for sure, man. Summer 99. Hey, man.
A great summer.
Yes. Woo. Ruff Ryders showed out on here, even people from outside the camp that appeared on this album did well. This was, like I said, it remains in my rotation to this day. And hey, just if you know, you know. Hit that like button, hit that share, subscribe, Some popping tracks on here. Dope Money, Kiss of Death.
What's your favorite track on here, though?
Dope Money is definitely my favorite track, man. Jadakiss and Styles P with that back and forth. And, Jadakiss with the, if I lose my voice, I'm going to flow online. I mean, whoo.
Do you feel like, because I know a couple of people probably came into this album, buying this album, looking for more DMX, but don't you feel like this album just was a classic regardless? Because this is like an all-star album of rappers, but don't you feel like it's just like, even though without the whole like DMX, like let's subtract the DMX and the Jay-Z verse, right? Or the songs, the DMX and the Jay-Z songs. I feel like this album is still a classic.
Absolutely, because, my faves are Dope Money and The Kiss of Death, the Jada solo joint. That's not what X and Jigga, shout out to them as well. They did their thing on this album. X closed the album out real great with some X shit. That's, I used to play the shit out of that song, and
I feel like Swiss,
excuse me.
Excuse me, whoever controlled or A&R'd or made this happen, the beats by Swiss were classic, and the fact that they blended so many different styles together very well. The New Orleans sound, the Bronx sound, Eve sound, the Lock sound, Drag sound, even Parlay. Like the whole album was just put together really, really well, and that's hard to do with compilation albums. This is one of the few compilation albums that actually is good.
Yes, the hardcore R&B track, I'm a Rough Rider by the group Parlay. That definitely, I fucks with that song. That's my shit.
Yeah, that's a sleeper track for me.
Yes.
I'm a Rough Rider. Eve did her thing on this. Pina Colada, great song. Pun's on that joint.
Yeah, Pun spit on that, man. Shout out to Sheik as well, man. Pun, man.
So many all-stars on this. You had Jay-Z, Jigga, my nigga. You had Pun. You had Juvenile on Down Bottom. Who else was on this album from the outside?
I believe we had Beanie Siegel, My Son. Wow, My Son was on this. Yeah, Mace, Cardan.
Yeah, Cardan.
Macy Betta. Come up off that watch now.
Yeah, Cardan was on this too. Shout out to Cardan. Did you know that Cardan wrote Hot in Here?
I believe I heard that through the grapevine before.
Yeah. He wrote that.
Just goes to show, just because you ain't being seen don't mean, ain't making no moves.
Ghostwriting pay way more any fucking way.
Shout out to the Ghost Riders out there.
Alright, so Rough Ryders Volume 1. 1 to 10.
Like a 9 to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 9 too.
This album only had about, total 15 tracks, including, a few skits.
But for you to get a fucking 9 with 15 songs, that's a good fucking album.
Yes, bro. I can't deny. I mean, I still play to this day. Definitely a classic in my opinion, without a doubt. Go back, if you ain't hear this, go back and check it out, man. If you know, you know.
Beats on this, absolutely incredible, ridiculous. Swiss was doing his motherfucking thing on this.
Yeah, shout out other producers as well, PK, all that,
The X songs that were on here, though, did you like them?
Yes, some X shit closes out the album very well.
That's a hard ass beat too.
Yes, he went in on that. That's a deep track right there. X spit a verse on the intro track, actually the Ride or Die track, along with the Locks Even Drag.
Ride or die, motherfucker.
What used to be his chest is now a mess on his fucking vest. Woo, hit him. You know what I'm saying? And that started off the album, man. We also had Bug Out, That was X joint right there.
Bug Out was alright, man, but keep it real with you. I feel like X shit was better from the three that he did.
Yes, some X shit's definitely the better track of the X
so many
tracks
hits on this album, bro. I don't think the Rough Riders were coming to play when they did this one. The beats crazy, the songs crazy, a lot of memorable shit. It's a lot of shit that if you heard this album when it first came out, if you were fortunate enough to.
What a time, baby.
You remember, like, some of these songs go off and you can remember where you were at. Like,
yes, I know I do for sure.
Shit, I mean, anytime Pina Colada go off, I can remember being up at fucking Manny House with his cousin Lewis and Maurice, and us just bugging out to that shit, man. Or walking down Second Ave and hearing fucking Down Bottom or Summer Ave and hearing fucking Pina Colada. It's a lot of good memories with some of these albums. Best verse on this to you?
Wow, Jadakiss second verse on the Kiss of Death track, man. And I already acknowledged earlier, that was also along with Styles on the Dope Money track, but Jada went off on Kiss of Death. That was his solo track. Swiss on that beat. Woo. Had to save my lunch money just to get in the game. Woo.
I'm cash money biased, so I'm gonna have to go with Juvenile's verse for me.
So your favorite track is Down Bottom from the album?
Yeah.
I respect that, man. I remember. Wow.
Oh, man. Old
Hell
Cash
yeah,
Money.
we bust our guns.
Not new Cash Money, old Cash Money. I don't know what's going on.
Whoa, there. Yeah, this new. Well, anyway.
Even though Drake is alright. Drake and Wayne still doing their thing, but I'm talking about all the other ones. This album really set the tone for 2000s, like the music that came after this, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, etc.
Absolutely.
This era of music was just great in general. The Rough Riders had released a bunch of great music after they released this album.
Yes. A nice arsenal.
Then they actually released Rough Riders Volume 2, which we will pretty sure we'll tap into that sooner or later.
Yes, coming soon to Billins World. We will cover Ride or Die Volume 2 as well.
Cover on this album was so simple. It was just the Rough Riders R, but I've always felt like the Rough Riders R was fire, man.
Absolutely. That was always, still to this day, a dope-ass logo. Shout out the Rough Riders.
Yeah, I see some, I see mad people, like, using that R, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's motorcycle clubs, there's, like, football, high school football teams, Pee-wee teams, and etc. That R is, like, something, like, it's like the Wu-Tang symbol.
It's up there with that, like, yeah.
It's just, you just know. When you see it, you just know, man.
Double
like
R
the
wood
symbol.
Yes.
It's like the fucking who else had a classic No Limit logo?
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Yes, shout No Limit, Death Row.
I mean, who else?
Death Row, man. Death Row logo.
Fuck is the name of the in Houston?
Rap a Lot.
Rap a Lot. Yeah. It's like the Rap a Lot logo, man. You just know when you see those logos, you just know it's monumental shit coming from any of those logos. The Rough Riders. Okay, is there anything about this album that you didn't like? How about that?
Wow, I mean, it's damn near flawless to me. I mean, it probably, like I said, it would have probably had a couple more tracks would have been dope, but I felt, for the amount of tracks that are on here, they showed out, man. So ain't really too
So
much.
you cool with the lack of DMX on this? You
Absolutely, yeah. Because I even was a fan already of the other rappers as well, from Locks to Pun. You know, yeah,
I
Drag.
mean,
Eve, all that.
the Drags album dropped after this, still, right?
Yes, and so did yeah. But like I said, like this started off like a pretty popping arsenal for Rough Riders. You know, and
I
it's
mean,
followed.
yeah, this shit definitely set the tone. It lets you know that they wasn't fucking playing around. Like, they had an arsenal of artists other than just DMX. Like, it lets you know, like, they were, like, you know, they were one of those ones. Like, you had Rockefeller, you had Cash Money, and then the only other group that you really knew was the Rough Riders. Like, really?
Yeah, and if you know, you know. If you remember how like at the end of the Jigga My Nigga track, which that was Eve singing on it, how you know it sounded like she was choking at the end of the track, but it was just like the I guess the tape cut or whatever, the recording cut. It's like Jigga.
I didn't know that was, I didn't know that was Eve. One. I did think that somebody was choking, though. I don't know why. I didn't know the tape pop.
Real hip hop heads know. Billins World, you know, for all my hip hop heads worldwide.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for viewing all the other videos.
Yes, appreciate y'all.
The beats, right? Let's get back to the beats because I feel like the beats, because the production of this album, is crazy. Anything that slaps real crazy is Swiss beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you had other beats on this album and shit like that, but I don't think any other producer's beats was fucking with Swiss's on this album. Do I keep it real with you? He did Down Bottom, correct?
Yes.
He did X Shit, correct?
Correct.
He did Pina Colada, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Do I have to continue?
Yeah, but I gotta give a shout to PK because he did Dope Money, you know.
Yeah, no, Dope Money's fine.
Yes. But Swiss even did Kiss of Death, man.
Yeah, man, what the fuck was Swiss on back then, man?
Woo.
Swiss was putting
Hit him.
after hit after hit. Like, Swiss had his, and he still do, you know what I mean? But at that time, I mean, he really had his foot on the game's neck, bro. Producing was like, it was only really him, Manny Fresh, who else? Timbaland, Jermaine Dupri. Those were the main ones, like the main guys back then. Until Just Blaze and Kanye and them came around.
Yeah, you know, definitely giving credit when credit's due. Giving credit when credit's due to the hip hop producers all world. You know what I'm saying? All world.
How did you feel about Eve when you first heard Eve on this album? Like, were you cool with like the whole female rapper thing?
Yeah, you know, she was fine with me. You know, I fucked with the What Y'all Want record and all that, and everything that was like, you know, one of the singles, I believe. That it was a video too and all that. That was, I remember hearing that in school. They was playing that like this at lunchtime and all that, after school, all that shit. You know, wow. I mean, what a time. And also, yeah.
Were you a Drag fan?
Absolutely. I copped his first album, cassette tape, all that.
I feel like a lot of people overlooked that album too.
Child Dragon.
I believe the album was called Opposite of H2O.
Yes.
Had a lot of fire on that shit. They really overlooked Drag, man. Drag had a lot of fire. If you were like a true, I don't know about anybody else, but the camps that I had really listened to, any album that camp dropped, I was copping. Drags, The Locks, Eve, just like Cash Money. I think I bought all of them. BG, Juvie, Wayne, Turson.
Yes.
Rough Riders. Okay. Was there ever a point where you thought that the Rough Riders was just Swiss and DMX?
No, not at all. I legit knew, you know, if we were looking, you know, you mentioned earlier how the cover was of the album. The back cover, though, you saw, it was quite a...
Damn.
All right.
Damn.